Walter and Donna, oh, what a pair. They laugh and talk and chat 'cause life ain't fair. So zoom on in and pull up a chair. From Zoom Stalker to Zoom Talker, he went from Zoom Stalker to Zoom Talker. Zoom Talk, you gotta Zoom Talk, you gotta Zoom Talk. Come on and Zoom Talk.
I got the background at least. This meeting
Oh,
is being
good. I love
recorded.
it.
This
Okay,
meeting is being recorded.
nice. I told my daughter I was doing this with you, and I played her the theme song. You mean the stalker? And I was like, yeah, but and she goes, he doesn't mind? And I'm like, no, we're like friends. It's so funny, like
No,
being called a stalker, but because I'm not calling. I said you went from Zoom stalker to Zoom talker. So I can ask you some questions, just impromptu. What do you think? Okay, so welcome to Zoom Talk. We
I'm
are,
Walter.
oh, and I'm Donna. And
Yay.
Walter is the one of the biggest Zoom fans, or probably the biggest Zoom fan ever.
I've
And
been told, but I can't be sure. There might be others out there, but
oh yeah, there are others, but
okay,
Walter
but are they
is the longest Zoom fan ever. And so yeah, which is like if anyone, I'm going to play devil's advocate right now, Walter. And if anyone were to say, well, why would Walter be a great co-host for Zoom Talk? What would you tell them?
I'd say because there might be somebody else who knows as much about Zoom as I do, but they're not doing this. You know what I mean? Let them do a podcast because we're doing a podcast here. I know I've met 10 of the Zoomers over the last since 2001. I met Danny and
Hmm.
I met you, and so I've in a non-stalkerish way. I'm hoping in a nice everyone. I never was going through anyone's garbage in their alley or anything. I was
Right.
always just being and I hope that my enthusiasm, and then maybe that's why you thought I was a stalker because it was like Donna, Donna.
And you would do this thing where you would go like, Donna. You like
I know I don't remember that. I don't. It was like
you're like Gollum, you're like, oh, and you're like, oh, I just don't want to bother you, and I just don't want to bother you, and
oh see
so I'm just telling you that's kind of why you had the stalker vibe. But obviously, we've been friends for years now,
17
and
years, over 17
17
years.
years. Wow, that's awesome.
Oh wait,
And oh, that's so great. Oh, so that's when you came to see
see you
me perform at the
at
West Bank Cafe. I was doing the Cougar Cabaret, and who was my co-star? Do you remember?
Danny Bernardi,
That's right. I just
Bernardo,
yeah, Danny Bernardi,
Bernardi,
the
and he
beautiful
was
Danny
acting.
Bernardi. Yes, she
No,
was.
but may I tell you
Yeah.
that I somehow, this is how I came across where you were
Hmm.
performing.
Yeah.
Was I did a Zoom search of something, and it came up the very first episode of Zoom, and
Hmm.
you, Donna Moore, have the distinction of having written the very first play that was
That's
ever
true.
presented, and that was the first season. You weren't on until the third, so that was
Right.
just a total
That was
coincidence.
on when I was nine. I mean, when I was nine, I wrote a play that made it onto the pilot of the series, and
You
I didn't get on the show till I was 11, so I was
right,
Zoom fan. Yeah.
but you were a Zoom fan, and it was I remember it so well, and it
It's
was
called was it called Riddles?
riddles, yes, and it was Miss Pruitt,
It's
I think
Truitt.
Truitt
Truitt,
has
Truitt. And
Truitt
yeah,
has
the
foolish,
story but
blackish,
the
blondish
story
hair.
behind it was though when I was 8 years old in the third grade at John Ward elementary school in Newton, Mass. I was writing a series of books at the time that I was writing and illustrating, and it was called the Miss Truitt series. And she was a teacher, and she was obviously a third grade teacher. Like I always like wrote about what I knew, I suppose. But the first one was Miss Truitt gets a job, and she got a teaching job. And then Miss Truitt got married. She married Mr. Bivens. And so the second book was Miss Truitt gets married. And then the third one was Miss Truitt gets a baby. And then the fourth one was Miss Truitt gets a dog. So, and that's who Riddles was, the dog. There were scouts from, sorry, GBH, and because they were looking for kids, by kids, etc. So someone must have told them, oh, there's this precocious 8-year-old who's writing books. So they contacted me. They said, just write a play. So that's why I wrote Riddles, which is funny because it's still in the archives. People still have it. And all I have to say is, obviously, I don't know if you know I'd become a comedy writer, but by the looks of Riddles, the play that made it on the pilot of the series, I'm like, wow, it's a good thing I kept writing and kept working on my craft. That's all I have to say.
Well, it was a memorable play, and I remember there was one line in it where they said "la telephone," and one of them said, "What does "la" mean?" And the other one said, "It means the,"
In French.
In French. And
Yes.
and that was the one, Dr. Joe, Joe with the
Yeah,
Zoomer.
Joe was amazing. He was an original Zoomer.
He was, and he and John, the original Zoomer, did it. And that was when they had he had to give him money, and they here, give me money.
Oh, right.
Like stiff like that, like purposely stiff, not just,
yeah. They had to do something to make
something
that play work.
And the money dropped out of John's hands and rolled, and they both cracked up.
Started laughing.
Like
that's
the first
funny.
blooper. But anyway, remember the play.
Walter and Donna. Oh, what a pair. They laugh and talk and chat 'cause life ain't fair.
Good evening. Each week at this time, Zoom brings you a story or play sent in from our viewers. This week, Miss Donna Moore of Newton, Massachusetts, has sent in a gripping, exciting story called Riddles.
Riddles by Donna Moore. The next day, Gladys called Miss Truitt. Miss Truitt's number was 238-3000.
Hello, this is the Berwins residence. Hi, Joe. How would you like to hear a riddle?
Said Gladys.
Well, okay, but just for a few minutes.
Said Miss Truitt.
Who has gray hair and don't know her name?
Said Gladys.
Who?
Replied Miss Truitt.
You.
Said Gladys.
Me? Oh, well now I'll give you a riddle. Who has grayish, blackish, whitish hair? Who?
Said Gladys.
You. And I don't have this blackish, whitish hair. Goodbye, and that's for a fact.
And she hung up.
This is a very confusing story, but for such dramatical emotions that we could not fail to bring it to you.
That night, as Miss Truitt and John were going to bed,
Hon?
said John in a rather mean voice.
Yes?
Said Miss Truitt.
Oh, Joe, I just got the phone bill, and it's $491. Explain why you were on the phone. Why?
Said John.
Well, Gladys was on the phone, too.
She said.
Who is Gladys?
He said.
Gladys Travers, the lady with the grayish, blackish, whitish hair.
She said.
Well, you just tell her to stay off la phone.
Said John.
What does la mean?
She asked.
It means the in French.
He said.
But you're English.
She said.
So?
Said he.
You may be confused as to why Miss Truitt is living with Mr. John Berwins, but they are legally married.
Before Mr. Berwins went to bed, he called Gladys. He called 995-3126.
Hello, Felix Travis here. Who's speaking? Hello, Felix. This is John Berrios. Let me speak to Gladys. Yeah, Gladys here. Hello, Gladys. Give me $491. Well, I'll try. But why? Said Gladys. Because you're a grayish, blackish, whitish-haired lady. Goodbye, he said.
And then he went and put on his doggy pajamas.
If you do happen to notice the resemblance between myself and one of the characters, well, can't really be helped.
The next morning, John went to the Travis house.
Hi, Felix. Hand over the money.
Felix was Gladys's husband,
I have the 400 and whatever money here. Have it in good health.
said Felix.
Felix!
Next morning, John went to the Travis house.
Hi, Felix. Hand over the money.
Felix was Gladys's husband,
I have the 400 and whatever money here. Have it in good health.
said Felix.
Felix, is this money from Monopoly?
Said John,
Of course it is.
said Felix.
Is this some kind of a joke?
Said John,
No, it is a riddle.
said Felix. The next day, they gave real money to the phone company, and the whole thing was cleared up.
Thank you for watching our little play. If you have a play or story that you have written and would like to see on television, please send it in to Zoom, Box 350, Boston, Mass. 02134. Thank you.